But yeah, I mean, that's something that you've had to listen to me groan on about, is the fact that uh, we don't really have anything that's specific to this time that's being made right now. I mean,
Yeah.
the big pop culture things are all things that refer to stuff from long in the past in many cases. Sherlock Holmes and Star Trek and Marvel Comics and Superman and all this stuff is all from the past. We don't really have anything, and even when they do something that's supposed to be futuristic, they make it look like a 1940s detective thing, like Blade
Yeah.
Runner or its sequel. I don't know where that leaves us, but
Yeah. Well, if I could jerk you to a movie that I think would kind of go with what we're talking about here with Rosemary's Baby, that would be the Lords of Salem by Rob Zombie.
I think you've mentioned
Yeah,
it to
it's
me
sort of
before.
based off of it, kind of the same storyline, but
Is that
there's
his
no baby in it. But
homage to Rosemary's Baby?
that's what I would call it, or just a homage to the satanic cult movies of the time.
Well, I think it's great that somebody like him, we're talking about Rob Zombie, right?
Hmm.
Someone like him and Quentin Tarantino and Roman Polanski, they're all in agreement that this was great.
It's a great movie, yeah.
So that gives us some reason to hope. But I do think one lesson, and this is something that I've always tried to take away when I do my own stuff, one lesson that people should try to take away from Rosemary's Baby is to create a real world environment so that you have, when you introduce your supernatural or your horror element, there's some contrast there.
Yeah.
And instead of creating a world where everything seems like horror movie world, where everything is strangely colored or atmospheric, or create a world that is attractive and realistic, a world that people might actually want to escape into. And then when you introduce the horror element, it's that
It's
much more
more,
effective.
it's more shocking because
Right,
you're not expecting it.
right. Because you're on the ride with Thorne and his wife when they're going to England, and he's going to be the ambassador,
Yeah.
and they have a whole new life ahead of them, and they're looking at this wonderful place they're going to be living, and then in the back of your mind you say, oh yeah, but what about that little kid that sort of hanging out there? It creates that feeling of suspense that is a great counterpoint to our desire to see them be happy and successful. And the same is
Right.
true in The Exorcist, right? Chris McNeil looks like the world is her oyster. She's going to get a chance to direct, and then her kid has to start peeing on the carpet,
Yeah.
puking on priests.
Yeah.
So if you create, and I think that the world that they create in The Exorcist, that world that she's in, and also the way they show the Catholic Church, the priests and all, that is very romantic. It's
Oh
very
yeah.
desirable. I mean, I have no interest in being around priests at all, especially what we know about them now.
Yeah.
Not
we're
that they
too
would
we're
be
too old.
interested.
Yeah, we're too
Yeah,
old for them
they wouldn't
now.
be interested.
Yeah.
But I have to admit that was a very seductive world. It looks very attractive to be in
Yeah,
that.
when I watched this movie today, I was like, I want to live in that apartment.
There.
Oh. Oh, God.
Yeah. Fireplace works, of course. That's right.
Oh. Oh, it's a wonderful apartment. I love
See
it.
what she's trying to do? She's trying to get you to lower the rents.
Yeah.
That's a nice,
That-
even before they redecorated. The way
Uh-huh.
the old lady had it.
Yeah, I
I'll
guess
take it just like that.
I felt the same way when they had that wide shot of the room. I said, boy, I would love to live there.
Yeah, and that's probably what, $10,000 a month
Oh God.
apartment nowadays.
Well, I know they said that when Eleanor Roosevelt died, the property that she had shared for that period of time with Ira Levin was valued at around $15 million.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that was a particularly big place. So, yeah, I imagine that, the Dakota, God, I mean,
Oh yeah.
oh, interesting thing. They call it what, the Bramford in the movie?
I think so. Yeah.
Something like that, the Bramford. That's Ira Levin's tribute to Bram Stoker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
where I get the idea from. And apparently the house that's in this photo, which was on the cover of some of the paperbacks early on, that's another similar. I don't think this is Dakota. This is a similar building, the Alwyn Towers, I think it's called, which still exists, and it's probably also vastly, expensive to live in or to live nearby. So yeah, that's one of the unfortunate things, and that's one of the things that makes that gives us one of sort of sad and wistful feeling when you watch movies that are set in New York at that time, is that that whole island is now like a amusement park for
Yeah.
billionaires, and you know, it's just not a welcoming place for. I mean, just the fact that our son can tell a story about his father before he was famous,
Yeah.
living in the same building with Eleanor Roosevelt on the Upper East Side, that he would be able to afford that
Yeah. They,
is extraordinary in itself. But yeah, it's certainly a film I think we can give a strong recommendation to.
oh yeah.
Anybody hasn't seen it.